Hey guys, it's me, Mr. 250, and welcome back to Umineko. This might not actually be one of my brighter ideas here. I couldn't sleep, so what do? Well, let's play some Umineko at 4:30 in the morning. Yeah. Maybe not my brightest idea, but we're gonna go with it anyway, so let's continue.
夏日おばさんおばさんがいないあれ
Oh, I'm sure something terrible happened to her.
さっき手紙を読みながら一人で出て行ったよ。
Letter? That makes sense. The culprit must be so exhilarated now that we've reached the twilight. They might have left a letter so that they could brag even more. We had been so wrapped up in questioning Maria that we forgot to look for a letter. Why would we look for a letter? Okay, but even as well-armed as she was, why had she left the room by herself in this dangerous mansion after reading it? Probably so she could die. Jessica tried to chase after her and tugged at the handle to open the door, but it resisted strangely and wouldn't open. It was only natural. Natsui had picked up the candlestick which Battler had thrown at the wall and which had fallen to the floor. Wait, she then skillfully wedged it between the doorknobs and the double doors like a bolt. So what, she just like jammed it in there and hoped it would hold? I guess. The intricate design of the candlestick caused it to get caught solidly, and it really did make a sturdy seal on the door. Why would she do that? Not quite understand. The tragic scream of the daughter for her mother. Did it reach Natsui's ears or not? Probably not. It's really weird. Let me fix the text boxes again. Gotta love how it makes the text disappear. It was the place decorated by the portrait of Beatrice. Natsui threw down the letter she'd read in the parlor, Beatrice's last letter. Ready to rifle again, and in a voice that rang clear, yelled in the massive space that was the entrance hall. Oh. Is she kind of trying to make like a last stand thing, but she doesn't want her kids involved, maybe? Is that what she's trying to do? Because I feel like this is going to go poorly. The entrance hall was dimly lit. Other than a faint light which shone out on the center of the room, everything was blotted out by the jet black darkness. In that darkness, butterflies glittering in gold squirmed, twinkled, and sneered. Natsui gave one more huge gulp, and pointed the cold barrel of the gun at the gold butterflies. So I guess Natsui believes now. And bearing giant gun. Oh. There we go, that should work a bit better. Oh boy, negative butterflies. The gold butterfly slowly formed a human shape, which walked into the dim light. Natsui readied the rifle, and glared. The witch raised her golden staff overhead and laughed. Natsui's finger slowly squeezed the trigger.
せーの
Battler made an all-out dash at the door and rammed into it, crushing the candlestick which had been barring it, and making it possible for a big gap to be opened in the door. He kept kicking the candlestick through that gap, and the door was finally released. That's got to be a shocking sound to everyone here. At that time, they heard it. They certainly heard the crisp sound of gunfire once.
ジェシカちゃん一人で先走っちゃいけない。今のは銃声だぜ。夏代おばさんが撃ったんだ。
At who? At the culprit. The noise had come from the entrance hall, and the entrance hall looked like a stage. Like the heroine of a tragedy, lying down and bathed in light. Arrayed in the beauty of that silence. Aunt Natsui was face up, crumpled on the floor. Half crazed, Jessica ran up to Aunt Natsui. On Aunt Natsui's forehead, it was almost as though a sparkling shard of pigeon's blood ruby had been placed there. Oh boy, let's take a look at Aunt Natsui. Aunt Natsui dead. Found shot to death. Ooh, that's interesting. By the rifle or by possibly whatever the witch had. How impudent of her to challenge a witch with nothing but a mere gun. Of course she'd end up like this. And from it one stream of blood makeup passed by her eye and began to traverse her face. The faint smell of gunpowder smoke came from the barrel of the rifle Aunt Natsui still grasped. Huh? Then she shot herself in the forehead? Why?
Maria ちゃん、夏日おばさんは手紙を読んでから部屋を出たんだよね。手紙がない。そう、おばさんは何を読んで、どうしてここに誘い出されたんだ。
知らねえぜ、知らねえぜ。そんなことはどうでもいいぜ。何なんだよ。どうして自殺なんだよ。話を置いてくんだよ。
Jessica clung to her mother's corpse, crying earnestly. My body was consumed with an anger I didn't know what to do with, and I stole the rifle from Aunt Natsui's hand. I spun around, pointing the barrel of the gun into the darkness on all sides, as though I was pointing a light from a lighthouse, trying to find the culprit. George Aniki, even in this situation, was trying to calmly figure something out, but that might have been a fruitless effort. And only Maria was completely indifferent, as usual. So this is all supposed to be some kind of predetermined fate? No, that's not it. This is all a prelude to a wonderful world. The door to the Golden Land will finally open.
第9の晩に魔女は蘇り、誰も生き残れはしない。そして第10の晩に旅は終わり、黄金の里へ至るだろう。これで全部終わったね、ベアトリーチェ。おめでとう、おめでとう。だからマリアを導いて。あなたの話してくれた黄金鏡へ。今こそ。
There, all of the dead will be revived, and even the lost love will be restored. So in Maria's eyes, it's just as though all of today's tragedies didn't happen. It's as though all of the time she spent deprived of love never happened.
いい加減にしやがれ。何が楽しい、何がおめでたい。この島には18人いた。14人死んだ。残りは俺たち4人だ。 俺は絶対に死なねえぞ。夜が明けるまで、いや台風が過ぎ去ってまた船着き場に海猫たちが帰ってくるまで俺は絶対に死なねえんだよ。生き残ってやる、生き残ってやる、絶対。
よしなよバトラー。ベアトリーチェに銃なんて意味ないよ。それに生き残るも何ももうおしまいなんだよ。もう旅は終わったんだよ。ほら時計を見てごらん。
Huh? The clock? Hearing those words, I looked at my wristwatch. Both needles were almost touching near the top. Very soon, it will be midnight. In other words, midnight. When you think about it, isn't 24 hours a strange time? It can be called 24 and it can also be called 0. It's the hour at the culmination of the previous day, and at the same time, it is hour 0 as the next day begins. Maria suddenly called out happily and ran towards the darkness. It was almost as though Beatrice was somewhere in that darkness, and Maria was running up to her. As Jessica hugged her mother's corpse, as George Janicki stood there shocked, I looked down at the barrel of the rifle, gazing into the darkness. We were in front of Beatrice's portrait. What a fitting place to be. And the thing that Maria was running up to was the portrait's subject. You've got to be kidding me. This is just impossible. Like I'd fall for something like this. Witches don't exist. I won't accept it. Something like you shouldn't exist, because this is a human world. You think I could accept something that's not human? I definitely won't accept it. When I pulled hard on the rifle's lever, the cartridge was ejected, fell on the floor, and a new cartridge was loaded. Then, I sighted the witch down the barrel. Maria turned around. Still clinging to the golden witch, she turned around.
だから意味なんてないってば。ベアトリーチェに鉛玉なんて意味ないってば。バカだね、人間は。
俺は魔女なんて認めねえぞ。貴様は誰だ。一歩でも動いてみろ、指一本でも動かしてみろ。こいつをぶち込んでやる。
Sorry, just a little bit offset by that. The laughter of the witch, no, the witches, joined together until even a large clock in the hall was laughing. It was probably telling us that the time was midnight. It was both a tone telling us that we had reached the culmination of this day, and a tone informing us that all had returned to nothing. The rule that the witch would win when time ran out had already been revealed.
バトラ、ジョージ兄ちゃんにジェシカ、旅は終わって、魔女は蘇ったよ。
And none shall be left alive. The witch will praise the wise, and should bestow 4 treasures. One shall be all the gold from the golden land. One shall be the resurrections of the souls of all the dead. One shall be even the resurrection of the lost love. One shall be to put the witch to sleep for all time. Sleep peacefully, my most beloved witch, Beatrice. Sorry, I'm kind of like at the edge of my seat. The storm passed, and the leaden clouds that had enshrouded the island for so long cleared away. From the rifts between the clouds, the sunbeams shone, and yesterday's storm seemed like the lie. Just as someone had wished, the seagulls returned to the harbor once again and let their lovely cries be heard. Afterwards, the police came and conducted an investigation of the scene. The corpses of the children, who were thought to have survived until the very end, were never found. However, because the body parts that were discovered and the unimaginably gruesome nature of the scene, the police were forced to conclude that the chances of survival for any of the 18, even the children, seemed hopelessly dim. Just how gruesome was the banquet of the witch? And how beautiful was the Golden Land? Only they could have told that tale. Those who came after the banquet that had ended had no way of hearing this tale. They could only imagine what happened during those 2 days. However, the witch was fickle. She made a point of leaving behind this tale which didn't need to be heard and was allowed to spread. Then many years later, a strange wine bottle that had drifted on the waves to the pier of a neighboring island was pulled out by a fisherman. Inside it was a thin, tightly rolled notebook fragment, written upon it in crammed small letters. Written there was this tale. Through this notebook fragment, people will finally learn the truth of the mysterious and riddle-filled 2-day period that started on October. This incident was later called by names the Rokenjima Mass Murders, or the 18 Killings of Rokenjima. While lovers of the occult claimed it was all the result of an immoral ceremony that had sealed off the island, those 2 mysterious days were savagely embellished. However, not one of these interpretations approached the truth of facts. Furthermore, while the notebook fragment tells of this mysterious incident, it does not tell the full truth. That's right. Perhaps not even the writer of the notebook knew the truth. Perhaps she wanted to know. According to the writer, her name was Ushir Maria. Incidentally, as a result of an all-out police investigation, part of Maria's body, a piece of her jaw, was discovered. It's one of those rare instances where a corpse was identified thanks to dental records. Since there were several identified body parts, this jaw was an extremely fortunate find. Because it had been separated, they judged her chance to be hopelessly dim. And so let's conclude the tale with the final section of the notebook fragment. By the time you've read this, I will probably be dead. Although there may or may not be a corpse, you will have read this, please find out the truth, that's my only wish. That's odd. This very day, the truth of the legend of the witch serial murders has not been brought to light. Oh boy, that was a lovely fast reading there. So they found part of her jaw. I definitely have to agree that when your jaw gets ripped off, you have a low chance of survival, especially without medical treatment. Pierced through the forehead by the stake of Beelzebub. Oh, I see. So these all have names. Which if we took the time to look at, we'd probably notice were different, I'd imagine. Revived, the witch praised her nobility and granted her the honor of a duel, but she died. After he acknowledged the existence of the witch invited him to Golden Land. She acknowledged the existence of the witch. She acknowledged the existence of the witch. Will the witch invite this man who denied her existence to the Golden Land? So I guess they all believed it, and he didn't. The witch will praise the wise and should bestow 4 treasures in the Golden Land. There, they chose to revive the souls of the dead and love that had been lost. After all, no matter how large a mountain of gold they might have desired, it would have been out of their grasp. George chose his lost fiancé, Jessica chose the boy she had liked most and lost, Maria chose her mother. Sleep peacefully, Beatrice. Let nothing disturb your slumber ever again. The winner is the Golden Witch Beatrice. Time ran out before even one of the 18 people could solve the riddle of the gold. All 18 died. When the seagulls cried, there were no survivors. So, did everyone die, but then they were allowed to revive 3 people? Or did they survive, I wonder? Also, another thing, I didn't realize that each person would be allowed to have a person they would love revived. That's interesting. I think as a whole, though, we royally lost. Quite definitely, I believe. Golden Witch, in commemoration of this sojourn, has prepared a gift. As for the new elements, please confirm them on the title screen. Okay? So what do we got here? I was told, and, people, I know people were saying, don't give me a single hint because they don't want me to have any idea of what's going on, and I understand that, I really do, because I don't want any hints on what's going on. I do enjoy being very unknowledgeable about everything. You know, but I mean, don't beat yourself up for it if you make a mistake. Like I said something about 999 earlier in the set, or in one of the earlier sets, and somebody said, hey, you know, I'm reading through 999, can you not do that? And I apologize for that, because I shouldn't be doing spoilers about games that aren't directly related to this. So, I understand, and, you know, just don't beat yourself up about it. Now, that being said, I was told that there was this thing called a tea party here afterwards, and I need to look at this before going on to the next chapter, which I will need to be unlocking. But you've done well to make it this far. Did you enjoy your stay in Rokenjima? The Golden Witch has granted you an invitation to her tea party. We hope that you choose to attend. This is one thing I'd like to know. Does anybody have an estimated time of how long this is going to take? Like, I'm not going to finish this today probably unless it's less than 9 minutes. So, does anybody know if this is going to be like 30 minutes or an hour, or if it's, you know, if I'm going to figure it out today, don't tell me obviously, but tell me how long you think roughly it'll be, just so I get a general idea of how to split this up. Like, should I next episode try to go for a longer episode to finish it off, or should I just keep doing 30 minutes? Let's go to the tea party, and I honestly have no idea what to expect from this. Purgatorio. Like purgatory, or what is that?
Oh, みんな、Uminekoの泣く頃にお疲れさん。
Thank you for playing my game.
やれやれ、わけがわかんないうちに物語が終わっちまったな。
I could tell.
つまりなんだ?
This kind of feels like one of those like weird what do you call them? Like promotional episodes that you see for some anime.
あれは結局犯人は暴けず時間切れの
Definitely seemed
バッ
like
ドエン
it.
ドでしたってことなのか?
おお、きっとバッドエンド。おお。
Maybe not for Maria.
そうだね。1日目の夜にマリアちゃんが読んだベアトリーチェの手紙に碑文の謎を解いてみろとちゃんと予告してたもんね。
We did get plenty of warning in advance about it.
僕たちは自衛や犯人を探るのに忙しくて全然その謎に挑まなかったし。
そうですね。ちゃんと碑文の謎に挑んでいたら違う結末もあったのでしょうか。
それはどうかな。シャノンちゃんもお疲れ。お茶の給仕なんてしなくていいぜ。何しろここはお疲れ様会なんだからよ。ひでえ目にあった者同士仲良く傷の舐め合いをしようぜ。ベロベロベロ。
ひでえ目って言ったらシャノンがぶっちぎりだったぜ。綺麗どころのキャラだからてっきり最後まで生き残
She
る
got
かと
killed
思っ
off
たら
first. I'm really liking this. This is fun.
一番最初に殺されるし、しかもなんだっけ?
I really like this. I like the characters having having an understanding of their environment and like seeing it from the outside, kind of like we are. That's actually a lot of fun. I really like that.
顔面を半分砕かれてたんだっけ。最悪だよな。
そういうお役目でしたらその仕方ありませんし。
姉さんが気にすることはないよ。お嬢様方もラストのエピローグを見る限り相当
どうもそうみたいだね。なんだか全身を食いちぎられてバラバラにされたみたいな恐ろしい描写があったような気がするよ。
I don't. Yeah. Whoa.
それを言ったらカノン君の最後が一
Oh
番
yeah,
かっこよ
Canon
かっ
had
た
a
と思
cool
う
end.
ぜ。
Everyone else kind of sucked, but his was pretty cool.
返り討ちとはいえ犯人と一騎打ちだろ。
I mean, he lost spectacularly, but he was probably the first person that really made a stand against the witch, even if
俺らの
extremely
よく
futile.
わからん最後よりは数段マシだぜ。
Maybe if I had a gun that shot like those little scorpion pendants, maybe that might be an idea.
結局何も歯が立ちませんでし
Or
た
if your axe had like scorpion pendant on it. I don't know.
でもカノン君の死は大きなヒントになったと思うな。だってあのせいで19人目の存在が明らかになったんだから。
そうだね。あの時点では全員の所在が明らかだった。だからカノン君を殺せるのは未知の19人目しかありえない。
For us, yeah, but you know, everyone else thought it was our good friend Kumasawa.
マリアは最初からベアトリーチェだってずっと言ってる。
信じたくはねえけど、ベアトリーチェを名乗る魔女が犯人ってことになるんだろうぜ。
そうですよね。人にはできない不思議なことがいっぱいありましたし。エヴァおばさんの密室殺人とか魔女にしかできない。人間にはできない。
I still like the idea of having little trapdoors all over the mansion, which I feel like a man like Kinzo might have actually done. I was kind of half expecting them to find a secret entrance in his room, and I mean, they might, there might still be one, and we never found it. I don't know.
19人目が存在することが明らかで、しかもその人物は人間では考えられない力を持っている。
I mean, that just seems like a Kinzo kind of thing, doesn't it? To have a secret exit out of your room.
となれば、その人物をベアトリーチェと呼んでも差し支えはねえだろうぜ。
多分僕たちはラストで出会っているよ。黄金の魔女にね。
だからマリアはベアトリーチェがいるってずっと言ってる。みんなずっと信じなかったからダメだった。信じないと奇跡は起きないって友達の魔女も言ってる。そうですね。ベアトリーチェ様は敬う者に寛大だそうです。
Really? Because they were saying something about how all the servants respected her, and they got pretty bad off.
マリア様は恐ろしい事件が次々と起こっていっても、最後までベアトリーチェ様の脅威からは外されていたように思います。
マリアは一番の最初からベアトリーチェを信じてたもんな。でもそれじゃあ同じように信じてたカノン君たちも
It's probably because she also had that pendant, like, because she just had better odds than most of the people, most of the time. And then when the odds were against her, then she had the pendant.
それは多分ベアトリーチェ様の
But yeah, she probably had her
ご都合
reasons.
があられたのでしょう。
碑文の歌がベアトリーチェ様の復活の儀式を意味するものなら、大勢の生贄が必要だった。その一人にご指名をいただけたということなのでしょう。
シャノンちゃんはひどい最後だったよ。せめてもう少し綺麗で安らかな方法もあったろうに。
まあ、痛かったわけ
You
じゃ
were
ない
pretty
で
dead,
すし。
didn't feel it.
それにほら、今はこうして全然平気ですから、へっちゃらです。
After seeing him stroke Shannon's cheek, which had been crushed during the story, everyone laughed out loud, smiling.
でもこう言っちゃなんだけど、僕はてっきり本格ミステリーだと思ってたからね。ファンタジーだと分かってちょっと驚いてるよ。遺産をめぐる外界から隔絶された孤島の洋館ものなんて推理ものの王道だと思ってた
Oh
から
yeah, it
さ。
definitely comes out as a mystery novel.
ファンタジーじゃない。ベアトリーチェはいる
It's okay, Maria, we got you. I'm pretty sure everyone at this point believes you.
ええ、分かっています。
Like, pretty much everyone does.
ベアトリーチェ様はいらっしゃいます。
の。そうですね。ベアトリーチェ様はいらっしゃいます。
悔しいが認めざるを得ねえよな。19人目の魔女の関与は明らかだしな。
人間には不可能なことをいくつもやってのけてる。劇中の僕らはそれを否定したくてあれこれと考えたけれども、今ならはっきり言えるよ。どれもいずれも全て人間には不可能な犯罪だった。
I'm really liking this music. I'm just sitting here just listening to it, barely actually paying attention to the story because I'm really enjoying it so much. Sorry. I mean, I'm paying attention enough. I'm just not paying, like, a ton of attention.
魔法の力を使いこなす魔女のベアトリーチェにしか成し得ない犯行だよ。
犯人は魔女だった。その一点において何の曇りもねえぜ。ベアトリーチェ様万歳ってわけだ。
みんな信じた。マリアは嬉しい。
Badly didn't believe.
神様も魔女も 怖がる人には
I mean, up until the end, he like resisted heavily.
信じ敬う人にとっては
In fact, I was thinking about that.
慈しみのある存在に違いないと思います。
I think that's the difference between Battler and everyone else. I don't know if maybe the I don't know anything really about the first 6 that were killed, honestly. But everyone that got presented with the witch, even if they didn't believe it, I think in their last moments believed it. Because they saw it in front of them and they're like, holy crap, that does exist. But Babbler, even upon seeing the witch, because I'm assuming that they actually saw the witch at the end, even upon seeing the witch, was still denying her. He was like, you know, you're not human, you can't exist. Even while she was in front of him. He was the only person I think that legitimately denied her to the end.
姉さんの言う通りだと思います。
Like, even Natsui acknowledged her at the end. She's like, I didn't believe you really existed. And then she had a duel there and lost.
じゃあさ、せっかく殺人事件ごっこは終わったわけだし、ここで気を取り直してちゃんとベアトリーチェの言う通り気分の謎に挑戦してみねえか？
賛成。きっとベアトリーチェも喜ぶ。
劇中ではみんな無視してたからね、あの手紙は。
Oh, yeah.
せっかく出題されたのにほとんど無視されて、なんだかかわいそうですね、ベアトリーチェ様。自分のメモがある。みんなで謎解き、みんなで謎解き。
Yeah, I'm gonna split the video right here. We'll be right back.